I cannot believe they actually won that game. Sorry, I hit my mic there. Mets win, baby, 5-2 over the St. Louis Cardinals. I do want to start off by apologizing for the lack of Mets content as of lately. For one, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get through all 162. Two, I've been extremely sick, so I didn't even bother. And three, I know that you're going to be like, well, you care more about the Rangers than the Mets. It's mainly just the fact that the Rangers are pretty much at the end of the season, and I might as well get all 82 games on and in and suffer through trying to make the video while being sick. But I promise you guys, Mets content is coming back on the channel. There won't be videos on the days that the Rangers play, just because playoff time is pretty much right around the corner for them. So I can't guarantee Met videos then. But if they don't play on the same day, I could guarantee you guys that videos will be released that day. Before we dive into the action, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. We cover Met games and other news and everything on the channel here, so why wouldn't you subscribe if you guys are a Met fan, and then turn the notifications on. I realized I forgot to change the light back that I like to do for the Mets, but instead of having it blue like I do for the Rangers. But anyway, I'm done rambling. The Mets in any Met team in the history of this franchise does not win that game. They don't win that game. This Mets team, I can't believe they won. I cannot believe they won. It looked bad. I mean, Miles Michaelis having the outing of his life, only allowing 4 hits, striking out 5 guys in 7 innings, only walking 1 guy. This is a guy that was pitching overseas, and the Mets couldn't hit a damn lick off of him. Max Scherzer on the other side. Oh boy, was he great. Oh boy, was Max Scherzer good again. 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits. Does that not sound good enough? Here, how does this sound? His 4-seam, 10 whiffs. He had 6 whiffs on his slider. And his whiff percentage overall, 38%. He was lights out. His slider was so disgusting. And then Sosa, how about that guy not being able to do shit against Scherzer? He fouled 1 pitch against him, and that was pretty much it. So 4 of the 10 strikeouts went to Sosa. So sorry to be Sosa, but you had it rough. But in terms of really keys of this game, there wasn't even much until the 8th inning. Trevor May comes in the pitch, and Trevor May, let's be honest, he has not looked the sharpest so far this year. It's a little concerning because we're pretty much a month into the season, and hasn't settled in too much. But yeah, so he gets 1 strikeout. He allowed the 2 runners, and he walked the batter. He did not have it. The batter that he walked ended up getting the bases loaded. That was Paul Goldschmidt. I do agree with Ron and Gary. He was literally the only one not in the booth. I don't know why I mentioned him, but Gary and Ron, I agreed with both of them that they probably should have walked Goldschmidt. Yeah, O'Neill ended up getting the hit afterwards either way. But at the same time, Trevor May's pitch count would have been lower if it's actually walked Goldschmidt. So what do you do? But either way, Trevor May did not have it at all today. He did not look good. His fastball was flat. He couldn't locate his slider at all. That thing was all over the damn place. And some of these fastballs too were just up to the moon. Like, this guy was not able to control his fastball whatsoever. I still have confidence Trevor May will be fine. I think that the situations he's used in might want to be lower leverage situations, but I'm not overall too concerned because we know how good Trevor May is. We know that in the past, he's been one of the best relievers, and he definitely was one of our better relievers last year, if not arguably the best. So I have no doubt that Trevor May will bounce back, but this is what happens with relievers. They go through rough stretches, and we saw it with Trevor May last year in particular. He had a rough stretch, And we just have to wait and see. Is it a little concerning that this has been a month of bad baseball from him? Yes, but I'm still confident that he'll bounce back. But the Mets go to the ninth inning, and they pull the biggest miracle out of their ass in the world. And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they actually, I couldn't believe they came back. I couldn't believe it. So, Pete Alonso, he starts by flying out, and then Escobar got a single, and you're like, all right, here we go. Here comes the Mets, the blue balls Mets, where they get our hopes up for nothing. Robinson Cano, who should not, I repeat, should not have been hitting in the ninth inning. There's zero reasons why Robinson Cano should be hitting in the ninth inning. Quite frankly, when May 1st comes around and the roster has to get trimmed, Robinson Cano better be packing his ass up. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it with Cano. But then Mark Canha has the at-bat of his life. He was so patient, and you can tell it pissed off Gallegos. And Canha ends up turning that into a base hit as Arenado just with a awful throw, and he took forever just to make that throw. They ruled it as a hit, though, for Canha, which was weird. But he ends up getting aboard with a hit, with a single, because they ruled it a hit, apparently. I don't know if they ruled it a hit or an error, but it says here a hit. But regardless, Canha ends up driving an Escobar, and that makes it 2-1. And you're like, all right. They're really going to do this to us, the blue balls Mets. And then Jeff McNeil comes up, and he hits a double. Jankowski ended up pitch running for Canha, and Jankowski holds up at third. Cora probably could have sent him, but it did not matter because Dominic Smith gets a single, and oh boy, I don't know how McNeil scored for second, but I will take it. Dom beats it out by sliding into first, and that ends up making it a 3-2 game. The Mets take the lead, and then Brandon Nimmo hits a 2-run shot to right field, and that makes it a 5-2 game as McFarland came in for Gallegos. That was the dagger. Marte unfortunately struck out, but Diaz comes in. He only walks one guy, but he made it look easy. Diaz looked great today as his slider was on, and when his slider is on, he is impossible to hit. That slider is the make or break with Diaz. If his slider's not on, he's going to blow the game. If it's on, good freaking luck. Runners in scoring position, the Mets were 2 for 6. The Cardinals were 1 for 6. Left on base, the Mets had 6. The Cardinals had 7. Escobar and Arenado with the 2 errors. But I cannot believe they came back. I can't believe they came back. It blows my mind, but I won't complain. It sucks that Scherzer couldn't get the win. He pitched such a gem. Such a gem. He deserved the win. But I'm sure he's happy that the team won, and so am I, quite frankly. So am I. Brandon Nimmo, let's get into just how everyone did in the lineup. Brandon Nimmo, I thought he had a pretty decent... He could have been better. I would have liked to have seen a walk from him tonight, but overall, it is what it is. He got the home run, and it ended up being the dagger, so I'm very happy. He only struck out once, so at least he put the ball in play often. Marte, he needs to move down the lineup, quite honestly, in my opinion. He has not looked sharp. He struck out twice. Yeah, he made contact on more of his outs, but he's not getting hits lately. He's not walking lately. You might want to consider moving Marte down the lineup. Lindor, he had a rough day, but, I mean, Lindor has been hot lately, so I'm going to give him a break there. He's not going to be perfect every single game, so I won't say anything unless he has another piss-poor game. Alonso, he had 2 hits. He looked great today, so Alonso, definitely nothing to complain about from him. He looked really, really good, especially when everyone on Mets Twitter has been freaking out about him playing poor. Well, how about him shutting all of you up? How about that? Eddie Esco bombs. Eduardo Escobar had 2 hits on the day. He looked good. He was putting the ball in play on every single at-bat, so I loved what I saw from him. Escobar he's quickly becoming one of my favorites on the team. I love this guy. He is so good. Cano, him being in a major league lineup and hitting sixth nonetheless, it's a felon. It is a felon. Cano looked really good. I saw from him. He walked, got a hit. He didn't strike out. I thought Cano looked really good, and his patience at the plate is something that I really loved, and we knew we were getting from him when we signed him. We knew. And it is paying off. McNeil, him hitting this low in the lineup, felon. He struck out once, but 2 hits, and he has been arguably the best Met so far this year in terms of at the plate. McNeil needs to be hit higher in the lineup. If I'm the Mets, I'd honestly consider going something like Nimmo. It just, they might not want to go back-to-back lefties, but I'd still do it. Go Nimmo, McNeil, Lindor, Alonso, and move Marte down the lineup, honestly. I would consider something like that, honestly. And then Nito, 3 strikeouts. Yikes. Dom Smith, though. How about him? He's been needing a hit, and he got one, and it came up huge as he got 2 ribeye steaks. Overall, the Mets looked really freaking good. Well, I should say really good, because not until the 9th inning, but they had 9 hits. Of course, 5 runs, an error then, and then an error for the Cardinals. They had 5 hits, and then, of course, they had 2 runs. Diaz picks up the save. May gets the win, which is weird. And then Gallego sucks because I have him in fantasy, but he blew the save. But, yeah, I mean, I'll take that for a Mets win. If he's going to hurt me in fantasy, yeah, I don't care. Give me the Mets win over my fantasy win all freaking day. But what a freaking win. What a win. That is going to be it, though, for me. I don't have much else to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. And I will see you in the next one. Let's go, Mets, baby.